Rudram in the Vedas. It's the same Shiva who is there in the Tantra Shastras also. Okay. So this Matsyendranath then finally goes to Kamakhya and he attains a siddhi of he attains a knowledge which is known as the Yogini Kaula, which is even Kaula is rare, Yogini Kaula is even more rare, I think. And he attains it from the Yoginis. The Yoginis are basically what? They are special ethereal beings. As I was saying, the Pradhana Devata, the CEO of your puja is somewhere sitting down. There are mandalas and circles of various entities, etc., etc. So basic structure is that at the outside there is the Lokpalas, Dikpalas. Then there are the Ashtabhairavas will be there. Then beyond the Bhairavas, the Kshetrapala and all that is there. Fine. In Sabat Tantra, there is something known as the Vedas, 52 Vedas. Okay, the Vedas are extremely powerful and they are modeled around the basic gods. Like there is Hanuman Veda, there is Narsingh Veda and all that. And sadhana bhi hota hai, siddhi bhi hota hai, all that. Beyond the Vedas is Yoginis. Yoginis are basically 64 female ethereal entities, much higher than, just lower than the goddess, but much higher than everybody else, who surround the goddess at all times. Okay, and they are very fierce. Some of them you will find there used to be a cult of Yoginis, Yogini temples, circular in nature, open and all that. Some of them are blood drinking Yoginis, some of them are revengeful, some of them are in cremation grounds. The names are like that itself, and the sadhana paddhatis are also like that. Of these 64, 8 of them are extremely special. Those 8 remain with Bhagavati, that particular form of the goddess. And those 8 are the only Yoginis who know where she is at any given point. Baki kisi ko pata nahi rehta hai. So the original krama of this sadhana was that you go step by step, one after the other. Bhairava takes you into the inner circle, then you worship, come to the Viras, then you come to the Yoginis. The Yogini blesses you and tells you, okay, now you have the inspiration. At this particular date, this particular tithi, this particular kshetram, you go and worship, then you may find the goddess there. And this process is facilitated by the Guru at every step. So this was the way it was. So these Yoginis reveal a Kaula Tantra to Matsyendra. He gets it from them. And there is another definition of Yogini here. Yogini is also a female practitioner of the Tantra Shastras. Okay. So there are definitions of this, long, strong and powerful classifications, etc., etc. So there is a ritual in Kamakhya is still one of the ancient most Shaktipitas still active. The original were actually 4. 51 came in later. Of those 4, 3 of them are lost to us. We don't know where they are right now. One of them was in, I think, Afghanistan area and all those, etc. Kamakhya is the original of those Shaktipitas still there. And it's a Yoni Pita. It is the Yoni of Bhagavati that has fallen in Kamakhya Kshetram. Yogini Upasana, there is a particular ritual that is done very popular. Even in North India it happens during Navratras, all that. During Navratras you will have little girls coming in and you feed them and things like that. I don't know if it's there in South also. South also there. So North it happens. So in Kamakhya we have a specific ritual we do, which is that specifically we take a pre-puberty girl, she sits down, on her feet, the whole mandala of the goddess is worshipped. Right from Bhairava to the Navagrahas to Dikpalas, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, ABCD, sabka puja hoga. On the feet of that little girl. Okay. And it is to be imagined at that time that it is the feet of Bhagavati itself. Okay. Pre-puberty girl it has to be. Now, here, once I was talking with a very, very advanced, almost a Siddha, and so he was saying that when you do and this is a very important process in the sadhana. Itna important hai ki aapko kuch bhi nahi pata ho in Kamakhya, you have to still do the Kumari pujan. The behavior of the Kumari during the puja, whatever she does, doesn't matter. In the middle she doesn't feel like very bored, main khelne ja raha hu, to ho gaya, puja khatam. That means that you have made some grave error somewhere you have done. Okay. Now why is this happening? The principle that is followed is that just by looking at the girl, and if your intelligence has been awakened by the power of your sadhana and the goddess, etc., just by a glimpse of the girl, you will understand that she can become a vehicle of one of these yoginis who surround one of the Mahavidyas. So just by looking at the girl, you can make out, okay, this girl is ideal to be worshipped as Kali. This girl is ideal to be worshipped as Tripur Sundari. This girl is ideal to be worshipped as Chinnamasta. Girl don't know anything. Usko kuch nahi karna. Chupchap baith ke she will enjoy and then she will get gifts and all that and go and play. You as the Upasaka has to have that knowledge, that level. And during the puja, it is one of these forces that will inhabit the mind. Just like we see dhyana slokas of deities and all that, right? We see the vahanas of devatas. Ma Durga is sitting on a lion, Shiva is on this, Chamunda is on a corpse, etc. So this whole pictorial depiction is very, very important in sadhana. But that tells you how the energy of the deity is manifesting, where it is going to go, kaha ja raha hai, etc. So basically, the deity sort of takes possession, very subtle possession of that being entity. So the belief is that when that little girl is being worshipped, in the middle of the worship, if everything else has been done correctly, one of the yoginis will enter into the mind of the girl and will accept the puja and will bless you. Or the moment you get the blessing, whatever your sankalpa was for which you are doing, it will get done, etc. Okay, the girl will not be aware of it. She just has to be normal. That is the beauty of this whole puja. That means, and this principle starts from a little girl. Little girl is the most powerful in the Shakti Sampradaya because she is representative of absolute Parashaktis. The topmost Shaktis will enter into her because she is very pure. She is innocent. That innocence allows for easy, how do I put it, the energies of these Mahavidyas to enter and descend and play around. And it will be a fraction of a second. I remember once, one Upasaka I know, he went into the Kamakhya Garbhagriha and is doing pranam to that. And Kamakhya pranam is not like normal deities you do. You do sparsha, jal sparsha pranam, until you touch the water. And that tattva is also beautiful, but some other day. So he bends down to take the water, and then there's this little girl with his father and mother who has come into the Garbhagriha. Okay? And he comes near that Upasaka. Just like that, randomly that girl chants some mantra in his ear. Okay, kuch nahi, just random. And what mantra I'll not tell, it's common mantra, etc. So he comes out, he calls his guru and says that aisa hua. So he said, you need nothing else. Take that as a sanction that from tomorrow you start anushthan of that mantra. A little girl inside the Garbhagriha of the Bhagavati girl may have no understanding of it. Usko dimag mein jo aaya wo kar diya. It is she who is controlling everything. Coming from a little girl inside that kind of a space, that is like the highest authority is telling you, this is the path you have to follow. This is where you have to go. Ye tumhara rasta hai. Okay? So this is how it works. Now, from little girl, it goes up to elder women also. Okay? So there is a whole krama of how this works. And there are many deeper mysteries in this which cannot be spoken of until somebody has initiation. So that restriction is important there, etc. But this knowledge, so there are basically, a very brief definition is a woman who has Tantric Diksha and who is respectful of Shiva's Sasana, the rule of Shiva, because this has been said by the rule of Shiva, becomes a Yogini. And there are certain upasanas and worship paddhatis that are done for Yoginis also. Okay. So this whole thing came from Matsyendra. He learned it from the Yoginis there and he wrote down in text. In fact,